Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Adha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sya Om Jnana Timarandasha Yanajana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gaurava Bhistam Supurakam Guraganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktiyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyad Bhagavat Prem Noe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarka Chelan Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Manditam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyasishvara Sridharam Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurati Vishay Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Adi-lila chapter 6, the glories of Sri Adwaita Acharya. And here we were hearing how Sri Adwaita Acharya, although he's senior to Mahaprabhu by age and also by the fact that he has taken Diksha from Madhavendra Puri, who's the spiritual master, who's the godbrother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, Sri Ishwara Puri. Even though he's also Vishnu Tattva, still it is the nature of all the expansions of the Lord that they think of the Lord. They think of the Lord as the object of their service. In other words, all relations have a service relationship with Krishna, and in this case with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then there's evidence being given by Krishnadas Kaviraj from the scriptures about how all the residents of Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's cowherd boyfriends, and the gopis, and Srimati Radharani herself, they all think of themselves as servants of Krishna. And they tell to Uddhava when he comes to Vrindavan that even, because Uddhava is talking to them about how you're very fortunate to be able to be in relationship with Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and they explain to him, a Jew, that they explained to him that that their relation is such that they're not thinking of Krishna as God, but still they all have a spontaneous attraction to serve him. So now we're going on. Darakate Rukminiare Jateka Mahishi Taharo Apanake Mane Krishnadashi. And Dwarkadam, all the queens headed by Rukmini also consider themselves maidservants of Lord Krishna. Chadyaya Marpayitum Udyata Karmakeshu Raja Vajeya Bata Sekari Tangri Renu Ninye Mrigendra Iva Bhagam Ajaviyutat Touch Shri Niketa Charanostu Mamarchanaya. When Jarasandha and other kings, bows and arrows upraised, stood ready to deliver me in charity to Shishupal, He forcibly took me from their midst, as a lion takes its share of goats and sheep. The dust of his lotus feet is therefore the crown of unconquerable soldiers. May those lotus feet, which are the shelter of the goddess of fortune, be the object of my worship. So the dust of his lotus feet is therefore the crown of unconquerable soldiers, that they take his lotus feet on their heads. So when Jarasandha and other kings, bows and arrows upraised, stood ready to deliver me in charity to Shishupal, he forcibly took me from their midst, as a lion takes its share of goats and sheep. The dust of his lotus feet is therefore the crown of unconquerable soldiers. May those lotus feet, which are the shelter of the goddess of fortune, be the object of my worship. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Queen Rukmini. So Rukmini was, Krishna kidnapped her on the day that she was supposed to marry Shishupal. She didn't want to marry Shishupal. She sent a letter to Krishna and asked him to kidnap her, to take her away. Yes. Tapas Janardan Agyaya Svadpara Sparshanashaya Tapas Charantim Agyaya Svapara Sparshanashaya Sankhyo Pedya Grahit Panim Saham Tad Grihamarjani. Knowing me to be performing austerities with the desire to touch his feet, he came with his friend Arjuna and accepted my hand. Yet I am but a maidservant engaged in sweeping the floor of the house of Sri Krishna. Like the previous verse, this verse appears in Srimad Bhagavatam in connection with the meeting of the family ladies of the Kuru and Yadu dynasties at Samanta Panchaka. At the time of that meeting, the queen of Krishna named Kalindi spoke to Draupadi in this way. Knowing me to be, so Kalindi spoke, knowing me to be performing austerities with the desire to touch his feet, he came with his friend Arjuna and accepted my hand. Yet I am but a maidservant engaged in sweeping the floor of the house of Sri Krishna. Atmaramasya tashema vayam vai grihadashika sarvasanga nivrityada tapasacha Babhuvima. Through austerity and through renunciation of all attachments, we have become maidservants in the home of Krishna, who is satisfied in himself. During the same incident, this verse, quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam, was spoken to Draupadi by a queen of Krishna's named Lakshmana. Aneraki gata baladeva mahashai Jarabhava Shuddha Sakya Vatsalyadimai. What to speak of others, even Lord Baladev, the Supreme Lord himself, is full of emotions like pure friendship and paternal love. Teho apanake korena dasha bhavana Krishna dasha bhavabinu ache konjana. He also considers himself a servant of Krishna. Indeed, who is there who does not have this conception of being a servant of Krishna? So Baladev, he has natural rasas with Krishna. He's his elder brother. So he has relationship with him of Vatsalya ras, of acting as a guardian or as a parent, elder brother protecting his younger brother, and also Sakya rasa, a relationship of friendship. But even so, he also considers himself a servant of Krishna. Indeed, who is there who does not have this conception of being a servant of Krishna? Sahasrabarane jeho sesha sangarshan dasha deho darikore krishnara sevan. He who is Sesha, Shankarshan, with his thousands of mouths, serves Sri Krishna by assuming 10 forms. So Seshanaga, the expansion of Balaram has many expansions as Mahashankarshan is the two chatur vyuhas of Shankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Vasudeva. Then as the Purusha avatars, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, and then also Seshanaga. Krishna, or Vishnu we can say, is lying on the bed of Sesha, serpent. That's like his bed. So he who is Sesha, Shankarshan, with his thousands of mouths, he has many thousands of hoods as a serpent, and from each hood from his mouth he's glorifying Krishna. He who is Sesha, Shankarshan, with his thousands of mouths, serves Shri Krishna by assuming 10 forms. Ananta Brahmande Rudra Sada Shivera Amsha Gunavatara Teho Sarvadeva Avatamsha. Rudra, who is an expansion of Sadashiva and who appears in unlimited universes, is also a guna avatar, qualitative incarnation, and is the ornament of all the demigods in the endless universes. Teho Korana Krishnera Dasha Pratyasha Nirantara Kohe Shiva Mui Krishnadasha. He also desires to be a servant of Lord Krishna. Sri Sadashiva always says, I am a servant of Lord Krishna. Krishna Premi Unmata Bivala Digambar Krishna Guna Lila Gai Nache Nirantar. Intoxicated by ecstatic love for Krishna, he becomes overwhelmed and incessantly dances without clothing and sings about Lord Krishna's qualities and pastimes. So, the description of Shiva, Sadashiva. Intoxicated by ecstatic love for Lord Krishna, he becomes overwhelmed and incessantly dances without clothing and sings about Lord Krishna's qualities and pastimes. Pitamata Guru Sakya Bhava Keninoi Krishna Primera Swabhabe Dasha Baba Sekarai. All the emotions, whether those of father, mother, teacher, or friend, are full of sentiments of servitude. That is the nature of love of Krishna. Ek Krishna Sarvasebhya Jagadishwar Arajat Sabat Tara Sevan Sevakanuchar. Krishna, the one master and the Lord of the universe, is worthy of being served by everyone. Indeed, everyone is but a servant of his servants. So, that is our philosophy. Das anudas. One is a servant of the servant. So, but here, Lord Krishna, the one master and the Lord of the universe, is worthy of being served by everyone. Indeed, everyone is but a servant of his servants. Say Krishna Avatirna Chaitanya Ishwar Ate Eva Arasab Tahara Kinkar. The same Krishna has descended as Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone, therefore, is his servant. Kehomani Kehonamani Sabtaradash Jainamani Tarahoy Say Papenash. Some accept him, whereas others do not. Yet everyone is his servant. One who does not accept him, however, will be ruined by his sinful activities. When a living entity forgets his constitutional position, he prepares himself to be an enjoyer of the material resources. Sometimes he is also misguided by the thought that service to the Lord is not absolute engagement. In other words, not something that you have to do. In other words, he thinks that there are many other engagements for a living entity besides the service of the Lord. Such a foolish person does not know that in any position he either directly or indirectly engages in activities of service to the Supreme Lord. Actually, if a person does not engage in the service of the Lord, all inauspicious activities encumber him, because service to Lord Chaitanya is the constitutional position of the infinitesimal living entities. Because the living entity is infinitesimal, The allurement of material enjoyment attracts him, and he tries to enjoy matter, forgetting his constitutional position. But when his dormant Krishna consciousness is awakened, he no longer engages in the service of matter, but engages in the service of the Lord. In other words, when one is forgetful of his constitutional position, he appears in the position of the Lord of material nature. Even at that time, he remains a servant of the Supreme Lord, but in an unqualified or contaminated state. So that's the nature of false ego. Everyone has false ego, and the nature of the false ego is that instead of wanting to be the Lord's servant, the false ego wants to put one in the position of being the Lord's competitor. And that doesn't work out very well. Chaitanya Radashamui, Chaitanya Radas, Chaitanya Radashamui, Taradash Aradash. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya, a servant of Lord Chaitanya. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya, and a servant of his servants. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya, and a servant of his servants. Eta bolinache gai, hunkara gambir, kanakeba sila acharya, honya sustir. Saying this, Adwaita Prabhu dances and loudly sings. Then at the next moment, he quietly sits down. Bhaktabhiman mula Shri Balarame, Sebhave Anugata Tara Amshagane. The source of the sentiment of servitude is indeed Lord Balaram. The plenary expansions who follow him are all influenced by that ecstasy. So Baladev has this sentiment of service to his younger brother Krishna. And all the expansions that come from Baladev, Mahashankarshan and the Chaturvyuha and the Purusha avatars and Sesha and all these expansions, they all have the conception or the consciousness of being a servant of the Lord. But the origin is Baladev. Tarabatara ek Sri Shankarshan Bhakta Boli Abhiman Korisarbakan. Lord Shankarshan, who is one of his incarnations, always considers himself a devotee. Taravatar an Sri Jutta Lakman Sri Ramaradasha Tiho Koila Anukan. Another of his incarnations, Lakshman, who is very beautiful and opulent, always serves Lord Rama. Sankarshanavatar Karanatab Shankarshanavatar Karanabdishai Tahara Hridaye Bhakta Bhava Anujayi. The Vishnu who lies on the causal ocean is an incarnation of Lord Shankarshan, and accordingly the emotion of being a devotee is always present in his heart. They all inherit from Baladev, from Shankarshan, the quality of being a servant, of being a devotee of the Lord. Tahara Prakash Beda, although they may be Vishnu Tattva, but still their attitude is to serve Krishna. Tahara Prakasha Beda Adwaita Acharya Kayamano Bhakya Tara Bhakti Sadakarya. Adwaita Acharya is a separate expansion of him. He always engages in devotional service with his thoughts, words, and actions. Bhakya kohe mui Chaitanya Ranuchar Muitara Bhakta Mane Babe Nirantar. By his words he declares, I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya. Thus with his mind he also thinks, I am his devotee. Jala Tulasidiya Kore Kayate Sevan Bhakti Prachariya Sab Tarila Bhuvan. With his body he worshipped the Lord by offering Ganges. With his body he worshipped the Lord by offering Ganges water and tulsi leaves, and by preaching devotional service he delivered the entire universe. Prativedarana Jes Sesha Shankarshan, Kaya Byuha Kore Koran, Krishnara Seban. Sesha Shankarshan, who holds all the planets on his heads, expands himself in different bodies to render service to Lord Krishna. Esab hoy Shri Krishnara Avatar, Nirantara Deki Sabar, Bhaktira Char. These are all incarnations of Lord Krishna, yet we always find that they act as devotees. Es Sabake Shastriko He Bhakta Avatar, Bhakta Avatara Para Upari Sabar. The scriptures call them incarnations of devotees, Bhakta Avatar. The position of being such an incarnation is above all others. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in different incarnations, but his appearance in the role of a devotee is more beneficial to the conditioned souls than the other incarnations with all their opulences. So his appearance in the role of a devotee means as Lord Chaitanya. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in different incarnations, but his appearance in the role of a devotee is more beneficial to the conditioned souls than the other incarnations with all their opulence. Sometimes a conditioned soul is bewildered when he tries to understand the incarnation of Godhead with full opulence. Lord Krishna appeared and performed many uncommon activities, and some materialists misunderstood him. But in his appearance as Lord Chaitanya, he did not show much of his opulences, and therefore fewer conditioned souls were bewildered. Misunderstanding the Lord, many fools consider themselves incarnations of the Supreme Lord, but the result is that after leaving the material body, they enter the species of jackals. Persons who cannot understand the real significance of an incarnation must attain such lower species of life as punishment. Conditioned souls who are puffed up by false egotism, conditioned souls who are puffed up by false egoism and who try to become one with the Supreme Lord become Mayavadis. See? Misunderstanding the Lord, many fools consider themselves incarnations of the Supreme Lord, but the result is that after leaving the material body, they enter the species of jackals. Not so many jackals around here, but maybe they become coyotes. Persons who cannot understand the real significance of an incarnation must attain such lower species of life as punishment. Conditioned souls who are puffed up by false egoism and who try to become one with the Supreme Lord become Mayavadis, which is lower than jackals. Ekmatram Shri Krishnam Shavatar Amshi Deki Jeshta Kanishta Achar. Lord Krishna is the source of all incarnations, and all others are his parts or partial incarnations. We find that the whole and the part behave as superior and inferior. Jeshta Babe Amshite Hoy Prabhu Gyan Kanishta Babe Apanate Bhakta Abhiman. The source of all incarnations has the emotions of a superior when he considers himself the master, and he has the emotions of an inferior when he considers himself a devotee. So speaking of the Lord. In other words, we may say that he has a sentiment of a servitor when he becomes a devotee. Krishnara samata hoite bora bhakta pad. Atma hoite Krishnara bhakta hoy primaspad. The position of being a devotee is higher than that of equality with Krishna, for the devotees are dearer to Krishna than his own self. The conception of oneness with the Lord is inferior to that of eternal service to the Lord, because Krishna is more affectionate to devotees than to his personal self. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord clearly says, Sadavo Hridayam Mayam Sadunam Hridayam Twaham mad anyatena jananti naham tebyo managapi. The devotees are my heart, and I am the heart of my devotees. My devotees do not know anyone but me. Similarly, I do not know anyone but my devotees. This is the intimate relationship with the Lord and his devotees. So it's better to become a devotee than to become the Lord, as the Mayavadis aspire to do, because the Lord loves the devotees more than he loves himself. And as such, devotees will be more the recipient of the love of the Lord. Yeah? He loves the devotees more than he loves himself. That's natural. Admahoite Krishna Bhakte Bhara Korimane Ihate Bahuta Shastra Bachana Pramane. Lord Krishna considers his devotees greater than himself. In this connection, the scriptures provide an abundance of evidence. Natata me priya tama atmayonir na shankara na cha shankarshano na shrir naivatma cha yata bhavan. O Uddhava, neither Brahma nor Shankar nor Shankarshan, nor Lakshmi, nor even my own self is as dear to me as you. So it says neither Lord Brahma or Shankar Shiva, nor Shankarshan, nor Lakshmi, nor even my own self is as dear to me as you, Uddhava. Krishna samye nahe tara madhuryashpadan bhakta babe kore tara madhurya charban. The sweetness of Krishna is not to be tasted by those who consider themselves equal to Krishna. It is to be tasted only through the sentiment of servitude. Shastrara siddhanta e vigyara anubhav Muda log nahi jane babera vaibhav. The conclusion of the revealed scriptures is also the realization of experienced devotees. Fools and rascals, however, cannot understand the opulences of devotional service, of devotional emotions. The conclusion of the revealed scriptures is also the realization of experienced devotees. Fools and rascals, muda log, however, cannot understand the opulences of devotional emotions. Bhakta Baba Angikori Balarama Lakman Advaita Nityananda Sesha Shankarshan Krishnara Madhurya Rasamrita Koreban Se suke mata kichu nahi janiyan. Baladev Lakshman, Adwaita Acharya, Lord Nityananda, Lord Sesha, and Lord Shankarshan taste the nectarian mellows of the transcendental bliss of Lord Krishna by recognizing themselves as being his devotees and servants. They're all mad with that happiness, and they know nothing else. Anyera Chukarya Apane Sri Krishna Apana Madhurya Pani Hoila Satrishna. What to speak of others? Even Lord Krishna himself becomes thirsty to taste his own sweetness. Swamadhurya Ashwadite Korana Jatan Bhakta Baba Binuna He Taha Ashwadan. He tries to taste his own sweetness, but he cannot do so without accepting the emotions of a devotee. Lord Sri Krishna wanted to relish the transcendental mellow of a devotee, and therefore he accepted the role of a devotee by appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhakta Bhavani Angikori Hoila Abatirna Sri Krishna Chaitanya Rupe Sarva Bhave Purna. Therefore, Sri Krishna accepted the position of a devotee and descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya, who is complete in every respect. Nana Bhakta Bhabe Koran Swa Madhuryapan Purbe Korijache E Siddhanta Bhyakyan. He tastes his own sweetness through the various emotions of a devotee. I have formerly explained this conclusion. So we heard the explanation in considering the internal reasons for Lord Chaitanya's descent, to know the glories of Srimati Radharani, to be able to taste that sweetness in himself that only she is able to relish fully, and also to know the happiness when she tastes that sweetness. So these are reasons for Mahaprabhu's internal reasons, or confidential reasons for Mahaprabhu's coming, for Krishna coming as Mahaprabhu. And it says here, he tastes his own sweetness through the various emotions of a devotee. I have formerly explained this conclusion. Avatar ganer bhakta bhabe adhikar, bhakta bhava hoite adhika sukha nahiyar. All the incarnations are entitled to the emotions of devotees. There is no higher bliss than this. Mula Bhakta Avatar Sri Shankarshan Bhakta Avatara Tahi Adwaite Ganan. The original Bhakta Avatar is Shankarshan. Sri Adwaita is counted among such incarnations. Although Sri Adwaita Prabhu belongs to the Vishnu category, he displays servitorship to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as one of his associates. When Lord Vishnu appears as a servitor, he is called an incarnation of a devotee of Lord Krishna. Sri Shankarshan, who is an incarnation of Vishnu in the spiritual sky known as the Greater Vaikuntha, is the chief of the quadruple expansions and is the original incarnation of a devotee. Lord Mahavishnu, who is lying on the causal ocean, is a manifestation of Shankarshan. He is the original personality of Godhead who glances over the material and efficient causes of the cosmic manifestation. Advaita Prabhu is accepted as an incarnation of Mahavishnu. All the plenary manifestations of Shankarshan are indirect expansions of Lord Krishna. That consideration also makes Advaita Prabhu an eternal servitor of Gaura Krishna. Therefore, he is accepted as a devotee incarnation. Adwaita Acharya Gosar, Mahima Par, Jahara Hunkare Koila, Chaitanya Avatar. The glories of Sri Adwaita Acharya are boundless, for his sincere vibrations brought about Lord Chaitanya's descent upon the earth. Sankirtana Pracharya Sabha Jagat-Adi-lila Adwaita Prasade Lok Premadana Paila. Sankirtana Pracharya Sab Jagat-Adi-lila Adwaita Prasade Lok Premadana Paila. He liberated the universe by preaching Sankirtan. Thus the people of the world received the treasure of love of Godhead through the mercy of Sri Adwaita. Adwaita Mahima Ananta Ke Pare Kohite Se Liki Jai Shuni Mahajan Hoite. Who can describe the unlimited glories of Adwaita Acharya? I write here as much as I have known from great authorities. Acharya Charane Mor Kote Namaskar Ite Kichu Aparad Nalabe Amar. I offer my obeisances 10 million times to the lotus feet of Sri Adwaita Acharya. Please do not take offense at this. Tomara Mahima Koti Samudra Parad Tahara Iyata Kohe E Bora Parad. Your glories are as fathomless as millions of oceans and seas. Speaking of its measure is a great offense indeed. Jaya 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 Sri Adwaita Acharya, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Arya. All glories to Sri Adwaita Acharya, all glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Dui shloke kohila dvaita tattva nirupan pancha tatvera bichar kichu shuna bhaktagan. Thus in 2 verses I have described the truth about Adwaita Acharya. Now, O devotees, please listen, or please hear, about the 5 truths, Pancha Tattva. Thus in 2 verses I have described the truth about Adwaita Acharya. Now, O devotees, please hear about the 5 truths, Pancha Tattva. Shri Rupa Raghunath Parijaras Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta reports to Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-lila, 6th chapter, describing the glories of Sri Adwaita Acharya. Okay, stop here.
About the sentiment behind offering 10 million times, 10 million obeisances to the lotus feet of Sri
Pardon me?
Adwaita Acharya. Why is Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj saying, please don't take offense at my offering of 10 million?
Because he's saying that whatever I do, whatever obeisances I offer, whatever praise I offer to you is offensive in the sense that it is not at all commensurate or equal to your glories. It is very little. Even if one were offered 10 million obeisances to the Lord, it is very little compared to what is the actual glory of the Lord. So he's saying about Adwaita Acharya, any praise I may offer, it is insignificant and in relation to your real glories. And please don't take offense that this is coming from me who is very inadequate, like that.
And Maharaj, why would it be an offense to describe the limits of these tens of millions of oceans?
Where is that?
The verse after that.
Which verse?
The following verse that Vidya said.
110. Through 110?
117.
What?
117.
One what?
117.
Oh, 117. Okay. Tomar mahima kote samudra agada tahara iyata kohe ebora parad. Your glories are as fathomless as millions of oceans and seas. Speaking of its measure is a great offense indeed. He's saying, speaking of the measure of your glories, not of the oceans, to compare your glories to millions of oceans as fathomless as millions of deep seas. Your glories are still much greater than that. To try and put some bounds to compare your glories even to fathomless oceans and fathomless sneezes it's an offense to compare. I remember Govinda Maharaj said when he's speaking of comparing the glories of one and describing his or her beloved. He's saying any praise I offer is very offensive, because whatever I compare to, if I compare to, for instance, your smile to a lotus flower, well, the lotus flower is seen during the day, but during the night may close. But your presence always radiates, and in any atmosphere. So he's saying in the verse where the person is saying, and this is even on a mundane level, we may say, poets describing the beauties of some woman. Then he's saying that any praise of you is actually an offense because it's limited compared to your limited beauty, to your limited charms and all these things. So you can understand how the consideration of saying, even if I deal with hyperbole, which is an exaggeration, even that is too small. And that, hyperbole in the sense of an exaggeration according to our worldly standards, like millions of bottomless or fathomless oceans, even that is small in comparison to your glories. So we could say, well, millions of fathomless oceans, that's a hyperbole. No, it's not an exaggeration. It's something very limited comparison to the glories of the Lord. So like that.
So what to do then?
What to do? Do like Krishnadas Kaviraj is doing. He gives an example and then he says, please don't take my offense for this limited example of your glories. What can I say? Saying anything I say will be actually very limited in comparison to your unlimited glories. But at least we can see that his examples are very beautiful. So then we see. Like saying, if we say, like, for instance, yes, you can shake this example. You say the beauty of someone's describing the beauty of a woman and can say, oh, your teeth are like the stars, but the stars only come out at night. You can see there's a limitation there. There's a limitation. Stars are very beautiful, but stars only come out at night. See, you were right in shaking. All right. Now we have a program at midday in Berkeley. So we'll see all the devotees. We should be ready to leave within latest 1 hour. Hare. Not everyone is going, but those who are going. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govindaram Srimadud Sadan Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatham Marana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Adwaita Acharya Janardan Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Sanatan Bhattaraguna Jiva Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaraguna Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jai Te Vignana Shabishta Puran Jai Gosai Charmui Taradas Sabar Padarenu Mora Panchagra Tarer Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Janame More Adi-lila Jai Gosai Jabe Braje Kolaban Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Padma Koryan Harinam Sankirtana Kohai Naratamala Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Gita Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhara Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajaca Charyasta Tara Sadashi Shiman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajaca Acharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shiman Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adwaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudhi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat Ki Jai, Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Jayam Vishnupad Vishvavarenya, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jayam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Sri Mayapur Ki Jai, Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Saparshada Sri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Sri Koladvip Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Sripad Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Jayam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj.
Jai.